guys, Tyler here from GarageWarrior.com, and this special guest video is for Rick Koselic and all of you over at Exercises for Injuries. And I want to teach you guys how to fix the hip click or the hip pop in the lying leg raise. And so you guys might have experienced this before where you're lying down on the ground and you're doing yourself some lying leg raises. So maybe your hands are down here, or maybe they're overhead, and you come down, and right as you come down to here, you go, and you hear that pop right there in your hip. Okay, and so that's a tendon slipping over the bone right there. And one of the things that I do with my clients to fix that hip pop is to make sure everything is in its proper position. And so here are some of the things that I notice with the people that have this hip pop, which I used to have the hip pop, and I fixed it on myself, so you can definitely fix it at home if you're patient and you pay attention to the details. And so here's what it's like. First things first is that when people go down, you can see their pelvic position change. So you can see their pelvis rotate forward and backward like that. That is the first mistake that you're making in that lying leg raise. So you have to make sure that your pelvis stays in one position. Easy way to do that is to put some pressure under your lower back right here with somebody else's fingers. You can use a blood pressure cuff, inflate it halfway, and watch the needle on the blood pressure cuff to make sure that you're putting pressure on that blood pressure cuff. The goal is to keep your lower back pressed into the ground the whole time, even as you just tap your heels and come back up. If you feel your lower back come off even a little bit, you're not strong enough to go to the next level. So start with your knees in close and really master that exercise where your pelvis and your lower back stay one piece. All right? So once you're able to do that and you're coming up and down, that might have already fixed your hip click. But just in case it didn't, one of the other things that I see is a lot of times people will emphasize their hip flexors by internally rotating their leg. So you'll see them pushing their legs together, but their femur, their thigh bone, they're twisting in towards each other. And one of the easy ways to deactivate the hip flexors is to externally rotate the hips while you're still focusing on pelvic position. So it looks like this. My legs are up. I'm going to actually take my heels, put them together, but I'm going to point my toes outward the whole time as I go through the leg raise. So they stay outward, no hip click, lower back still on the ground. You can see me shaking because this becomes significantly harder when you deactivate the hip flexors. So practice those two things, pressing your lower back into the ground and keeping your pelvis welded to your lower back the entire time you do this exercise. And if it still clicks, remember, just bend your knees and start working backwards from there, very slowly, gradually over time. And then number two is externally rotate your legs so that you deactivate your hip flexors, wake up your hips there, and hopefully those two things will fix your hip click in the lying leg raise. Now, if you guys want a complete abdominal training system that covers everything I just covered and takes you all the way to much more advanced exercises, then go ahead and click the link below and check out my complete abdominal training program. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you fix your hip click in the lying leg raise.